Hey guys, Romansliders here with a gaming rewind on the Devil May Cry franchise. Created and published by Capcom, Devil May Cry is a hack and slash series set in a gothic world where demons stalk the world. The series centers around main protagonist Dante, a demon hunter who tries to avenge his mother's death by destroying demons. At the same time, Dante is also half demon himself, being the son of the demon Sparda. Gameplay focuses on fast, stylized combat, where the player is ranked accordingly for type of attack and damage avoided. The games also have a special devil trigger ability, where Dante is able to turn into a devil, with new powers and significant increase in speed and strength while health is restored. Notable weapons in the series include Dante's Sword Rebellion and his twin pistols Ebony and Ivory. Devil May Cry was originally planned to be Resident Evil 4 under the working title Team Little Devil. However, the prototype was a departure in tone and gameplay that the project was redeveloped completely into a new series, and thus we have Devil May Cry. The first game in the series, Devil May Cry, was released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. The game is set on the fictional Mallet Island, where Dante and his companion Trish embark on a quest to destroy the Demon Lord Mundus. The game is divided into missions, where players fight their way through numerous enemies and puzzles to progress through the story. At the end of each level, the player's performance is ranked, which is based on a number of factors including time taken to complete the mission, the amount of red orbs gathered from fallen enemies, and how stylish the combat was. The top grade a player can achieve is S ranking. As you take down enemies, the devil trigger gauge fills, which allows Dante to temporarily transform into a devil creature, giving him additional powers and an increase in strength and defense. Aside from the main game, there are many side quests and other challenges which reward the player with permanent upgrades if completed. The sequel, Devil May Cry 2, was released in 2003 for the PlayStation 2. The game is set in the fictional city of Vita Mali, where Dante and new partner Lucia fight to stop businessman Aris from summoning the demon Algosax and gaining ultimate power. The game retains the same hack and slash gameplay as its predecessor, with combat being governed by the style meter as well as ranking the player for each mission depending on criteria like time taken to finish the level and red orbs collected. Furthermore, Devil May Cry 2 introduced the ability to perform mid-air combination attacks as well as being able to cycle through weapons on the fly without having to go to the inventory screen, and the ability to dodge attacks. Items are purchased with red orbs that are collected from defeating enemies that can be used to restore health and revive the player when they are killed. Alongside the Devil Trigger ability, Devil May Cry 2 also has the Desperation Devil Trigger, an enhanced version of the Devil Trigger, which is activated when Dante or Lucia is low on health. The game was not as well received as the original Devil May Cry, with critics citing lowered difficulty and a less refined combat system. Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening was released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2 and 2006 for the PC. The game is a prequel and focuses on the relationship between Dante and his twin brother Virgil. Devil May Cry 3 uses the gameplay conventions established in the first two games with the grading system and Devil Trigger ability, but also expands on the combat system, which allows the player to choose between 6 different combat styles at the start of each level, each with their own special techniques. The available styles are Trickster, Swordmaster, Royal Guard, Quicksilver and Doppelganger. In 2006, a special edition of the game was released, which incorporated Virgil as a playable character, rebalanced difficulty, and the Jester boss. Virgil only had one combat style, Dark Slayer, which is similar to the Trickster style, focusing on evasive maneuvers. Devil May Cry 4 was released in 2008 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PC. The game is an integral set between Devil May Cry and Devil May Cry 2 and introduces new protagonist Nero, who must defend his home Fortuna Island from the mysterious motives of the Order of the Sword. Along the way, Nero encounters Dante, and the two team up to take down the Order from releasing demons into the world. Alongside the two playable characters, a new currency Proud Souls is used to buy abilities, while red orbs are used to buy items. In addition, Nero has the ability to use his Devil Bringer arm, which allows players to pull in distant enemies or smash them into the ground. Nero also has a sword which can be charged for extra damage, while Dante retains his combat styles from Devil May Cry 3. DMC Devil May Cry was released in 2013 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PC. It is a complete reboot of the franchise, set in an alternate reality and as such disregards the previous continuity. The game focuses on a new Dante, who finds himself under attack from Limbo City, a town populated by demons. Like previous entries, Dante can attack with his Sword Rebellion and twin pistols Ebony and Ivory. New to the series are modifiers to Dante's moveset, known as Angel and Devil mode. When in Angel mode, Dante's melee weapon changes to a scythe, and generally allows Dante to move much more quickly. Devil mode on the other hand focuses on more heavy attacks, which grants Dante the use of the Arbiter. Both modes can be entered into conjunction with one another to increase the styles meter through varying combinations. Capcom requested a complete revamp of the Devil May Cry series, wishing the game to be made from a Western perspective rather than an Eastern one in contrast to the previous games. Although Ninja Theory took over developing duties, Capcom provided assistance in the game gameplay so that it was reminiscent of past titles, aiding players in the transition. The Devil May Cry franchise has entered into other media with novels, manga and an animated series set after the original Devil May Cry game. The Devil May Cry franchise stands tall as the premier hack-and-slash action series. The series reinterprets the classic story between good and evil, capped off with a memorable protagonist who goes about his business. Well, that's the end of this Gaming Rewind. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please comment, like and subscribe. Check out my interview with Harry Lee Aaron, as I was very happy with the way it turned out. For updates on what I'm doing next, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. So until next time, peace out guys.